Hi everyone. I hope you're all having a great day and great holidays and all that stuff. And trying out something new. As you can see in the back behind me, you can't see my hand, but I'm trying out this webcam thing. I've had one forever, and I figured everyone else is doing it, so might as well hop on the 15-year too late bandwagon. But we'll see what happens. But I'm actually trying. My friends kind of were like bugging me about this because I play Civ 5 a lot because it's one of my favorite games. I have like over 1,500 hours or something. But I want to do a brief tutorial on what I do. I'm not good. I'm not good at all, but I have fun with it. So I mean, hey, there's a couple people out there. You know exactly who you are if you watch this. But I'm gonna try. I've usually played with Lec mod, but I removed it, so it's just the base, vanilla, vanilla and DLC, but you know what I mean. I also, I play with enhanced UI, which I love a lot, so let's just get right started. So, single player setup game. Now, as you see, I was playing England last time. Usually I play on a higher difficulty, but since this is, easy, it's just a tutorial on my brain, my weird brain, we're just gonna do settler. On my phone I have a civilization drafter randomizer, one player, one civ, next. Have all the DLC, next, no banned thing. According to my phone, there it is, we are going to play, oh, you can't really see it, but it says Celtic. Let's try that. My fat fingers. Yeah, it says Celtic. I know you can't really see it, but so Celtics are interesting because right here you see Celtics. The Celtics. It's faith-based, and in Civ 5, faith is really not like a win condition per se, but it helps give us a bunch of stuff. It also gives us faith in cities with a more unimproved forest tile. Sadly, I will probably get rid of most of those forest tiles because I tend to build like worker camps and all that stuff on them. So I always go into the advanced options. We're going to random. Let's make it 5. Oh, first let's go over here. Map type. I usually do content or large island or stuff like that. Let us go with large islands. Map size settler or standard difficulty settler, since we're just doing it easy money. Game pace is going to be quick because I don't have time for marathon. No one has time for marathon. Temperate is going to be temperate. Rainfall normal. Standard resources, I always do abundant just because in my estimate, or at least in my experience, usually if you don't do that, you will not get something. So we're going to delete this. So there's going to be 5 of us, including myself. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a 250 turn timer on this. I'm also going to turn cultural and diplomatic. Pretty much these are all self-explanatory. Science, you get a butt ton of science and you build a spaceship, go into space. Domination, pretty self-explanatory. Conquer the world. For domination, you only need their capitals. You can ignore their other cities if you want. Culture is your culture output is stronger than their culture output, which means that you have more tourism, which you get by finding works of great art, music, some, I can't think what they're called, artifacts, I think. And then diplomatic is you get enough votes, as in you are the World Congress leader, you own all the delegate, like you own all these city states up here, the 12 city states, and every handful of turns you have to hit a certain amount of points, and once you do, you win. So as you see here, quick combat, quick movement. I was going to turn them off, but I was just like, it's going to take forever. And if you're playing a multiplayer game, the combat and the movement are so bad. So 250, allow policy saving, promotion savings. Let's see, we don't have the one I wanted to do, but I guess that's fine. Time would be just this. And then once you hit 250, and if none of these were done, it just goes based off score. But let's start.
Eternal glory and praise for you, fierce and vengeful warrior queen. In a time dominated by men, you not only secured your throne and sovereign rule, but also successfully defied the power of the Roman Empire. After suffering terrible punishment and humiliation at the hand of the Roman invaders, you rallied your people in a bloody and terrifying revolt. Legions fell under your chariot wheels, and the city of London burned. While in the end the Romans retained ownership of the Isles, you alone made Nero consider withdrawing all troops and leaving Britain forever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sleeping lioness, your people desire that you rise and lead them again in the calling that is your namesake. Will you meet their challenge on the open field and lead the Celts to everlasting victory? Will you restore your lands and build an empire to stand the test of time?
Yes, we will, Leonard Nimoy. So, we get some fancy warriors, and we get a hall, which gives us... Ooh, it costs less gold. That's nice. And it gives us 3 happiness and a culture. Alright, let's begin. So, this is the screen with the enhanced UI. We slimmed it down. You're going to have all your military units here. Supposedly, enhanced UI is very customizable, but I can't get rid of it. So, when you get more units here, there's going to be a unit list here. They changed the little thing up here where it actually shows right here. It says, this is your science per turn. This is what you're researching. This is your culture per turn. This goes back to that culture victory I was telling you about. This is faith. Faith. This is your happiness. Happiness is key. Obviously, that's gold, and that's gold per turn. Then you have tourism over here. This is where your tourism will influence your culture victory. Then you got how many trade routes you can have. With trade routes, you get gold, faith, etc. Science. Obviously, turn count. Then you have the year in game. Then you have a bunch of little knickknacks over here that we'll get to later. But for now, I'm gonna settle. I usually do Monument Scout, although we'll see what happens. And I like to rush the Great Library, so we're just gonna do that. And then we're just going to explore, hit an end turn. Now, you can have auto end turn on. I strongly recommend it if you ever do play with people, because holy moly, usually there is a timer, but I can't add a timer here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of explore. Wait. So what I'm doing is this monument. I probably should have explained that, but monuments gives you +2 culture, and you lose a gold per turn. But you need culture. Culture increases the how fast your borders grow and all that stuff. So let's go on. I'm going to rush a scout. I can still do it, I think. Now this is very important and very confusing screen. So you only have these 4 things. Options right now. As you see, when you get into higher eras, you unlock more, and then this is for later. So tradition is for small, as it says, tradition is best for small empires. Adopting tradition greatly increases the rate of border expansions in cities and also grants 3 culture in the capital. If you pick this one, you get the Hanging Gardens, and if you do all of them, you get 15% growth and a free aqueduct in your first 4 cities. So for this one, this is if you're only going to have like a small 4 city empire. Liberty is for rapid expansion. Will give you +1 culture in every city and then unlocks the pyramids. And if you do this, you get a great person of your choice. This is what I usually do. Honors for military. I wouldn't recommend it to be your first one. I only do military either towards the end just to get that extra bonus, or if I'm being swarmed by barbarians. And then Piety is only for empire. Increases your faith. It doesn't really do anything overall, but since we're a faith, this might be a good one to choose. But I'm going to go with liberty, and then we're going to keep on exploring. And hopefully this island's big, so we can pop out a bunch of settlers. We've learned how to make pots. We're going straight into riding. We're going to get God King. So with your Pantheon, that will just accrue faith over time. And the God King gives me +1 to culture, faith, gold, production, science. That's what I always choose, and unless it's not available, then I go with Messenger of the Gods, which gives you +2 science per road. Your cities. Ooh, an ancient ruin. So ancient ruins can give you gold, can reveal the map, can give you an ancient tech, can upgrade your units, can give you money, can give you pop, can give you a free worker, a free settler. It can give you a whole bunch of stuff. I'm pretty sure it's going to end here. So we have 5 turns. You're going to want to get granary. Granaries increase how much food production you make per turn. We're going to get this because this gives us +1 production every city and 5% production in cities when constructing buildings. So anytime we build a building, it lowers the turn. As you see, it was 6, now it's 5, which means that when this finishes, I will be able to grab this great library, hopefully. Let's go. Also, if I'm talking too fast or if you have any questions, please leave a comment down below. I tend to watch these. I tend to, look over them and see them, and I also get notified both on my phone and on YouTube. Ooh, 2 ruins. Let's see. Workers, nice. So I don't have to worry about this. And what is this? Ooh, even better, settler. So when you have a settler, it will pop up with recommended cities. Usually recommended cities will say, hey, there might be a resource later on that you won't be able to see now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plop it right here. And if you look, this also gives us extra faith, sorry. The Dove of Faith. We're gonna, oh, I didn't mean to grab that. And what you saw me just do right now is called a queue. In enhanced UI, it's automatic, and normal mode, there's a little drop down the bottom right when you're in this screen that will say enable queue. And pretty much what it is you choose what you want lined up, so then you don't have to it doesn't keep on popping up every turn that there's something to be built. And who messaged me? Who dares? Alright, so then let's go here. We've already explored that. This guy is just on his own little thing. Boop. Boop. Adopted policy. So we want this. Now, what I was saying about happiness is every population contributes a negative happiness, as you see. Right here. Total happiness is 13. I would have more. I would have 16. But I'm -3 from number of cities and the population. Now, if you get if you capture cities and whatnot, like if you go to war and you conquer them, you have like revolt potentially that increases more negative happiness. So then what you need to do is you need to build something called a courthouse, which you unlock later on, and you can negate that unhappiness. We're gonna rush there. I'll probably settle a city there, and maybe a city up here, and then call it for now, because there is a city-state border right here. "15 turns for the Great Library, huh?" So usually, if you get the Great Library, big if, because if you're playing with other people, odds are they'll try and get it too. But if you get the Great Library, I like to rush calendar to get plantations, and then you go into, once you get the Great Library, you get a free tech. And philosophy is always good because it shoots you into the next era, and also unlocks the National College, which is very crucial for science, and oracles, which is good for culture, and it gives you free policy. So do that, hit next turn. I won't be able to do anything, so let's get the food there. Grab a city here. Get the granary. Now you want libraries out as much as possible, because the standard practice is you want this number up here on the top left, that's 9, for me personally, needs to be over 100 or at least 100 by turn 100. Now we're doing a bit slow because it's turn 13, we're only at 9, but we also don't have very much food, because if you see these little green apples, that's your food. You can turn them off in your resource icons. I like to have them or I mean your yield icons. I like to have them on just so I can see and I can plan ahead. Trade routes will be there. Hex grid. This is hex grid. Every person has a movement of 2. You can only move 2 squares. Some have more, some have less. It just depends. As you see, this guy has 2 movement. I can move 2 tiles this way, 2 tiles this way, but as you see, I only have 1 this way because it's going to run into mountains. So we do that. This is not a very good starting area, but you know, we deal. I'm building a farm here to give us some extra food. As you see, 3 green apples and a hammer. Hammer is production. How much it'll take you can work. So let's pop this. We've met Singapore. We appreciate your dedication. Let us hope to find your pledge ultimately unnecessary. There's not much for you to be, so I'm going to put you over here. So if you see here, there's light, and then dark. Barbarians, which luckily we haven't bumped into, barbarians spawn in the darkness. So you want to make sure that around your city, there is no darkness around it, because if barbarians spawn, they can come in and pillage stuff. They can take out, you know, trade routes and all that fun stuff. So we're going to put you on alert while I figure out what to do with you. We're going to grab sailing so we can get these pearls and fish. We're going to, I don't necessarily need another worker, but we're going to grab it. So workers take out from your gold, as you see here. Unit maintenance, building maintenance. Buildings cost gold. Some buildings, most do. And depending on the type of unit, they take more gold. Like this warrior would take only 1 gold. Now if I had like a Gatling gun, obviously that's going to take a lot of gold. Someone messaged me on the Discord. Let's do it. We're going to go here, build a farm to increase some food growth. We're going to grab a farm here. Yeah, we're only making 6 gold a turn. That's not super good, but I mean, it's better than nothing. So another good one would be mining, so I can start actually mining these mountains. Still gonna take a turn, and it's going to reveal iron. Oh wait, no it's not. I thought mining revealed iron, but I guess bronze working does. Let's run over here. Grab this. You want as much food early on as possible to grow as much as you can. Obviously, I know that sounds like self-explanatory, but you know, it's a tutorial. I'm going to tell you everything that I know. Animal husbandry. We're gonna get some. Sheepies. No wait, we can't do sheep until animal husbandry. So, we're gonna get this. I know it said farm, but I want the extra production at the moment. We're gonna wait a turn. Alright, so do we have horses? Awesome. Horses over my farm. That's what I like to see. Which means now I have to decide, do I want... Oh, it gives me the horses. I did not know that. I thought it didn't give you. At least in all of my experience, it doesn't give it to you. Oh, interesting. So what we're going to do is we're going to pause this, because this is giving it... It says that Cardiff is getting... Unless horses literally spawned on there. Yeah, that's what it is. So if a city or a great person building is on a resource, you get it. As you see, Cardiff has 3, but there's nowhere that horses are, so it has to be on the city. And that's what that light was a moment ago. Let us do that. We got the great library, and we got a profit. So we're gonna pick a free tech. Grab us philosophy, shoot into the next era. Let's grab a shrine. get us some extra faith, and after that we'll do an oracle. We want a national college as fast as possible, but as you see that we still need 2 libraries as it says, so we have to wait them. So pretty much what happens is if you're going to do a bunch of cities, you want to at least get like 3 or 4 down, get out libraries, national college, and then just spam out as many cities as you want. Because that, anytime you would put down a city and you're building a national college, it cancels out the national college until you have a library in every city. Optics. Alright, great proof it. So I'm gonna pick my yin-yang Taoism. You can change your name. I'm gonna not touch that. Any name can be added, and you could make it any name. Take that as you will. And your pantheon is automatically added. You get to pick a belief. Read through these. I'm not gonna read them all. They're all decent. I usually choose tithe plus 1 gold for every 4 followers. And then the follower belief, you can build cathedrals, make it to where shrine and temples give you extra food. You can build monasteries, mosques, pagodas, swords into plowshares. I usually choose pagodas because it gives you plus 2 faith, plus 2 culture, and happiness. Now mosques gives you 3 faith, 2 culture, 1 happiness. Monasteries only give you these. Gives you 2 faith, 2 culture, and then if you have wine or incense, you get more. Cathedrals give you 1 faith, 1 culture, 1 happiness, and a great work slot. So if you're going for a culture victory, this is a good one. I'm just gonna pick pagoda and consider it done. And that's it. And this is pretty much the game for the first, say, 70 turns or so. You're just trying to build up your empire, trying to get people happy. You're trying to get that happiness up. You're trying to make sure you have gold. You're rushing science as fast as possible. It's pretty slow beginning, but also I love the beginning because this is where you really decide if you're going to snowball or not. Snowballing is when you start something and it just chain reacts, obviously, like a snowball into, bigger and better things. We're gonna rush this, choose attack. I want the wheel so we can build roads because roads make you travel faster, and it also gives you gold. More gold, I believe. An unmet player has entered the classical era. Borders of Edinburgh has grown to include these deer now. Good. Gonna grab this. Now if I were to enter the screen, you'd see these little buttons. Now in regular UI, there would be a button that says buy tiles. So pretty much what this is, you spend your gold, buy it, tiles, obviously. There's a certain limit to how many tiles you can buy. I believe it's up to 5 tiles. It could be up to 3. I know that you work up to 3 and you can expand up to like 5. I think probably what could happen is I could buy up to this tile. 1, 2, 3, 4. I might be able to buy this tile, but I'd only be able to buy this one. Now I would do that, but I only have 155 gold. I want to save gold as much as possible. Now usually what I would do is I would possibly buy all the land tiles first, so then it only can expand into the sea as much as possible. And the reason why I buy land tiles first is so that barbarians can't spawn, and if we meet another nation, or a civilization rather, sometimes they like to be rather rude and settle cities in between our cities. So if you buy as much tiles as possible, they have less chance to do that. And then if they actually do end up doing that, you can easily you can limit how many tiles they can own. What we're gonna do is we're going to remove this farm, unfortunately, to get the horses. Well, I'm sure that some people are just like, why wouldn't you do Civ 6 and Civilization 6 is the latest one? I personally don't like Civ 6. There's some good things about it, and there's a lot of bad. And personally, for me, if I'm gonna just goof around and relax, I'm gonna do Civ 5. Because Civ 5 you can really just do on autopilot, considering, look, as you see, I've literally just been clicking. Let's go to map. Let's go to currency. Let's get some money. My science is really low this game. I also don't have a national college yet. Let us get a lighthouse to increase some food. And then shrine, and then circus. Library's almost done, so the library or lighthouse and shrine. Then you want lighthouse, temple. Did I build a road yet? I do have the road. Okay. So what I like to do is I like to try and get as much of the land stuff locked already. So then I can, by landlocked, I mean I like to do stuff on the tiles and then I can send my workers back and forth. We're coming up to turn 50, so we're about to hit that towards the end of early game. Let's finish that. Boom, done. Each city found will increase the culture cost of policies less than normal. So if I do any more cities, every city adds to the culture cost up here. And the more cities you have, the higher that number is. That number where it says 2/130 towards the end. So pretty much what's going to happen is the more cities make that number higher. So then to lower that, you build buildings that cancel that, or you get this. Now, the next thing after this is I have to figure out, usually I go aesthetics to make my culture faster, so it means my cities expand faster. And for here, I like to do great scientist, plop them down somewhere. I don't know where I'm going to plop them, I guess over here. The scientist has an ability to either give you a big boost of science at one time, or you place an academy down and it gives like 8 scientists, 8 science increase. You can also increase that number quite heavily. So we're going to get a free tech. I would like to do commerce, but since I'm not in the medieval era yet, I'm going to do aesthetics. We're going to get this last sheeples. As you see, sheep give you food and production, which means that this city is probably going to be pretty good. We're going to rush. We're going to rush. See, it says great temple, great tile improvement. We'll connect strategic resources on this tile. And it'll give me an extra 8 science. Unfortunately, I can't build anything else now, so that's it. This tile is done. We're going to make this a mountain. Ugh, this city is going to not grow pretty good. Considering this city's already almost caught up to it, and this was the last city I settled. But as you see, this was the starter city, then it was Dublin, and then it was Cardiff. But as you can see, because Cardiff has so much food and production, it's already almost tied with my capital, and this guy's lagging behind. And it's also because I haven't actually done anything with this guy yet, as in I haven't done any of the tile improvements yet. So as you see, if you do more tile improvement, obviously the city is going to grow faster. Unfortunately, I've neglected Dublin just because there's a giant mountain range in between us. I say giant, it's 3 tiles, but still, that's a lot of tiles that you have to traverse. Especially since this is a very hilly area. I don't have iron. There's 2 iron here. So I just researched iron and it pops up. And as you see, the only 2 iron on this island are out of my reach. So probably what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to build a city just for these iron. Which I don't necessarily like to do, but I'm going to have to do it, which is unfortunate.